Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Joey Young. I am here to do an update on my first reef tank, and it's been, I'm gonna say this is day one. I know that I put up a video about 2 weeks ago from the escape. I did, put water in it, but let me kind of go through what happened, and I was waiting on a couple of things, but yeah, so I'm super excited. As you can see, it's filled up. I'm going to kind of go through the process of the escape, what my thoughts and ideas was, and the equipment that I'm currently using and whatnot. So initially 2 weeks ago I did fill it up. I was going to start cycling it. I had it on a canister filter initially. Read up some comments and did some research. Found that canisters can be fatal to reef tanks. It's just a buildup of just bad stuff waiting to happen. I mean, you can definitely run the canister filter. It's just you got to do a lot of cleaning, and I didn't really want it to do an every other day cleaning kind of thing. So I decided to buy another filter, and that's what you guys kind of saw on the unboxing that I posted up yesterday or 2 days ago. And I'll kind of go over that in a little bit. I still have my hang on the back filter there. It really doesn't have anything in there except for some of those bio-majigger things, and it's really used for a UV sterilizer. And actually I'm going to probably get rid of that and kind of do an inline UV sterilizer with my other wet dry filter that I have installed. So that really is going to, the main reason why I bought the other wet dry is one, long term, two, a little bit more flow, and three, I kind of want to compact all those things that I need, like a UV, a good filter, all in one. So, and also the auto top off portion of that came with it, which is really sweet. So anyways, back to the story. The delay came in when I was doing a lot of reading on what value your salinity should be at for reef, and how you should calibrate your refractometer to and whatnot. The instructions that I got said you can basically calibrate it to 0 based on your RO water. And I did a bunch of readings and like watching YouTube channels, and they said actually no, you should actually buy some solution that has whatever value you want to set it to. For example, 1.026 is saltwater, natural saltwater salinity. Buy that solution as a reference solution and calibrate it to that, because your refractometer doesn't measure from a scale starting at 0. It actually measures 1 to 10xx value, so it's a little bit more accurate in terms of that. So I kind of wanted to do it right, so I went ahead and bought the solution, and I waited, and I didn't really get to play with the salinity of the tank until like maybe just yesterday, when I started adding salt on it to bring up the salinity to match. But the calibration on the refractometer was fairly easy. The one thing, if you guys do plan on getting a salt, this hydrometer, it's a waste of money. Don't even buy it. It's useless. And really, I bought this just to see what this versus the other accuracy of the refractometer was, and this was way far off. Like literally, I dipped this in there, and it was off by like a factor of like 0.0, like 2 or 3 or 4 or something like that. It was ridiculous. And sometimes like a lot of people mentioned, like you'll get air bubbles in here and it'll read higher or whatever. This is a waste of money. Don't even deal with it. Like put this $8-9 towards the refractometer. So that's that. So let's kind of go through the idea and escape. So I was looking through and thinking about this. Initially I wanted to do like a really tall, just stacked, the core or the rocks as high as possible up to the light, and kind of wanted to do like a out of the tank kind of thing where, you know, creatures can crawl up, you know, kind of like a sandy beach or whatever, and crawl back down in the middle. But if I wanted to grow corals, a lot of that would be blocked, you know, if the rocks were too high, and also certain areas won't get, you know, the same amount of light, because I would need to get 2 LEDs versus 1. So decided not to do that. Decided to keep it kind of like medium low, and try to keep the scape as flat as possible so I can fit a bunch of corals and a bunch of, you know, zoas, etc., etc., etc. on here. So keeping that in mind, when I actually planted the scape, and then, you know, I had a bunch of rocks to work with. So when you're starting with a tank, or if you want to start up this reef tank, definitely have a lot of options. I know that a lot of people are kind of limited in budget, I understand, but if you went to the pet store, make sure you pick out some solid rocks, and just, you know, play with it in there or whatever, and scape it yourself. But because I bought it in bulk, I didn't really, you know, obviously it's random rocks, so you don't know what it is. If I bought the set amount of rocks for this tank, which is recommended, you know, a pound per gallon, I wouldn't have been able to get like some of these sweet rocks. It would have been just completely random. Like literally, I bought 70 pounds and this tank is only like 25 pounds. And so I'm gonna sell the rest, obviously, but the other rocks, a lot of them I didn't really like in terms of the characteristics, the flatness, whatever, right? Out of that 70 pounds, I picked approximately 30 pounds here of rocks that I really like, and this is what I came up with. You know, obviously I tried to do a lot of flat, as you can see, very flat areas all the way around. I tried to put, you know, a very nice place, and actually it just came out to be a very nice like cave. So that's just why I'm calling this project the Cove. My fiance actually came up with that because she saw like the bat cave there, and, you know, a lot of holes and nooks and crannies for the fish and invertebrates to live in. So definitely really sweet. I'm really stoked and excited for this. So let me kind of cut and show you guys the quick filter that I got. So here is the, I guess, hybrid wet and dry filter. It is a wet and dry filter, but it's an enclosed wet and dry filter. It's not like your standard wet and dry. Definitely it's working very well. I do like it a lot. The reason why I kind of was hesitating towards getting a normal wet and dry and all that other stuff is, one, I have to drill you know, holes, and obviously you can say, oh, you can just get like a overflow box without that, but then you'll run into issues with like the siphon breaking, possibly, you know, not breaking, and the pump continues to flow. With this system here, if you lose power, you're not going to overflow. You don't have to worry about your carpet or whatever being damaged. I'm going to kind of show you guys later in a little bit here, but here's the top view for it, and very nice. I'm running the same LED for my Planet tank. This is a 10K, so it's going to be good for Reef as well. I have the pump for flows there, so what I did was I kept one here to kind of push it along to this one, and this one's going to push it along this way to circle in a circle, and that one obviously is going to be pushing the top one mainly. So it's a very nice flow, and actually this filter was rated for, you know, a higher tank, but, you know, when I actually put my hand on there, it's actually fairly weaker than I thought, but it's actually perfect for the smaller tank system, so, which is awesome. This is the auto top off system, which kind of connects right there with that blue tube into here. I did try to fit this into the cabinet here. I just didn't have enough space, but that's okay. So what I did was I just basically picked up my original stand slash tank and moved it over against the wall as close as possible so I can fit this in here, and it worked out really perfect because I didn't have any other space to keep this tank, and I really wanted to incorporate this, and so the system worked out very well. Here it is. This is my CO2 for the other tank, but it's very crammed in here, but, you know, it worked. It fit in here, you know, it fit perfectly. So let me kind of show you guys. So there it is. So what it does is water comes down, goes through here, and it trickles into these containers. The water is only filled up to maybe a third of the system. The rest here is those bio balls, and down here is the carbon source, and then the pump is on the other side, which pumps it back up. And then we have a skimmer here, right here, that goes into this tube here, and I have just an empty bottle that skims out any protein and any bad junk and gunk. So yeah, so far this, this is working very well. I really enjoy. I really like it. Good flow. There is some drawbacks, and I guess once I do run this a little bit longer, I'll probably do a review on it. And I did run into an issue during the install, and I'll talk about that in the review. But so far so good. That's all fixed or whatever. So yeah, letting that bad boy run, letting the Pro Skimmer do his thing, and it's looking good over here. So let me kind of go back. Another thing is I kind of wanted to get my routine down before actually putting any livestock in here. I'm gonna actually start dosing the bacteria to jumpstart the tank, but I have some stuff marked out, and this weekend I'm going to kind of go through my normal water change routine and see how this works and whatnot, because it's my first time using RO system as well. I had to figure out how to do that. Definitely took a while to fill this bad boy up and fill this guy up with RO water. But I have marked here just my normal water operating levels, and then with the pump off, I'll show you in a second here what that means, and then the water change level. So what I did was, from here to there, about 10%, whatever. And I kind of drew that line. And another thing for reference, which is really awesome, I've been using this dude here. So about the bottom of this is the normal operating line, and then about the 80-degree mark, somewhere right here, is going to be my 10% drainage line. So let me show you why I got this. And so if your power ever goes off or whatever, this is what happens. So this is the power. I just basically shut off the pump. Nothing too special there, okay? Basically it goes down to this level that I have marked, pump off, and basically the water will go into here and into here, and it rises basically, and it stays there. And then when you plug in, plug this bad boy in. Sorry. So when you plug that back on, and the water will slowly rise back to the normal operating levels, and you're good to go. It does shoot out a little bit of air, which is normal, and then once it stops, you're good to go. And your system's up and running again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still trying to figure out, like I said, the maintenance and the routine of everything, and I am keeping it at 80 just for sanity purposes, and also in terms of like ick and all that jazz. But it does get really hot in the summer, so even if I don't run a heater, it's gonna run, all of my tanks will run at 80. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the update. It's definitely a little bit longer than usual, but I know I had a lot of content to cover, and I know you guys are super excited to see this anyways. So let me know what you guys think of the tank, and if you guys have any wish list to add into the tank, let me know. I kind of already have an idea of a couple of things I want to add, and it's mainly going to be, a couple livestocks, obviously, the norms, but the one thing I want to get an idea of is what kind of corals and anemones or whatever you guys want to see in here, zoas, like species wise, specific species, and I'll probably take a look at them and narrow it down to see which ones I like and that will fit well for the tank. So anyways guys, hope you guys enjoy, and peace.